Give me more energy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you are here to join this Speechcraft program. My name is KW Ching. You can call me KW. What does DTM stand for? It's called Distinguished Toastmaster. I've been with the Toastmasters movement for close to 15 years now. So this is the highest accolade that you attain in Toastmasters movement. So before we go into the program, let's have some agreement. Right? So I have this. I think you should pledge to follow this. So can you follow me? Always applaud.
Always applaud.
Why? Because you want to give peer support. One speaks, everyone listen.
One speaks, everyone listen.
Thank you, because you want to respect each other. Be silly, by all means, participate actively.
Participate actively.
Because making mistake is okay. And anyone can ask any question.
Anyone can ask any question.
Thank you, because we are here to learn. Now, however, there may be difficult questions or questions I cannot answer or is not really relevant to the material covered. In that case, I would ask you to write down the questions and then we will pose it to here, that is called a parking lot. And when we have time at the end of the session, we can deal with that on an offline basis. Okay, so I'm going to show you something as
Welcome to the
an attention grabber.
Global Business Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like to say is, last year's campaign ads were what I mean is it's important that we look at all aspects of what we're doing. I'm so glad I'm not here.
You're joking, right? Don't you remember last month's sales presentation to those new clients?
Oh, bad. Well,
I thought you were going to faint.
did I really look like bad?
Oh, you were that bad. Really bad. Worse, even.
Yeah.
But you can fix it. You can do better. There's a way to learn how to talk in front of a group without embarrassing yourself. Have you ever heard of Toastmasters?
Indeed, Toastmasters can help.
Why is it called Toastmaster? Like
Yeah, it started, the name was given by someone who started this movement called Ralph Spreadley. And when you toast, you say something, speech making. So it has become a trade name. Now I'm going to distribute, not yet actually, but workbook, one even one, yeah. So help me distributing it. Yeah. Then the extra equipment.
Workbook for session. Serious. Wow, this one.
Thank you.
This one like my PSLE.
Thank you. Now, look at the first page. There are some questions I would like you to answer. Remember, you play your role. So don't score maximum for every question. There are 6 questions. So what you do is, the instruction is all there. If you feel that you do that always, that is 3 points, yes. You do that often but not always, then it's 2. You seldom do it, that is a 1. All right, so quickly put down your score and then we shall see.
First one is something that say where do you stand as a speaker? So it's a set of 6 questions. The first one says, consider your audience's need and interest when preparing a presentation. Yes, no, not sure. Yes. Yes. Plan a presentation with a clear purpose or goal in mind. Yes, not sure. No. Yes. Yes. Very good. Appear to be natural and sincere when speaking. Not sure. Okay, very good. We cannot be perfect, right? So listen carefully and analytically to others.
Looks good. Have we got the total?
Yes.
Everybody?
There's a 3 there. Offer feedback in a positive way that doesn't cause others pain or embarrassment.
More or less? Add it up, add it up. Okay, good. So the 18th higher score over here. Then go down. If same score, then just side by side. And please help me to line up.
15. And the score 15. 15 should go to 14. 15 can come here. 15 you are at the top of echelon. Congratulations. 14. 14.
Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. The 1 go here. The 2 go here.
One is here. Hey, go back to the same table. Where's Ali?
Keep
Go back to the same table.
your workbook. Keep your workbook.
Okay.
Are you a 1?
Yes.
All right. I'm a 1 too.
3 here. 3 ah.
I see here.
3 here.
All right. We have done that. Look at the score, and then the purpose you probably will realize is to kind of put people randomly together. So not all the experienced speakers, will be together. Now, this program is going to go for a couple of days. And today we will deal with the first session, and then we'll be talking about impromptu speaking. Then we will carry on with longer speech called prepared speeches, and then bigger techniques to deal with prepared speeches, how to get to your point, how to say with power, how to use your body language, and how to use your voice. So today, we are going to deal with impromptu speaking, and these are the outcomes. By the end of today's session, you should be able to explain the purpose and the significance of oral communication, and you should be able to identify the structure of a speech and be able to articulate the basic components of a speech. And you'll have some practice too. You'll be learning how to craft a short speech on your feet and then deliver that speech, and learn how to craft a short speech to evaluate somebody's speech. Again, impromptu, and deliver that evaluation. So one is oral communication is important. Why is it important? Because how well you verbalize your thoughts and ideas actually determines how you impress another person and ultimately the success of your endeavor. Now name me any successful leader that cannot speak. None. All the successful leaders that we know of can speak. Why? Because person-to-person communication is very powerful. There's nothing that we can substitute that, even with our modern technology. And so, with this program, you can learn how to handle that situation with ease and develop the confidence for your success. Now, let's find out something. I think this is quite important, and you are here to learn something. So if there's any other issues, maybe you like to jot it down and put on the parking lot, and then we can deal with it later. Please. All right. Now, the purpose of a speech is to communicate a strong message. So everything you say in a speech should have a message. And what is that message for? Is to influence the audience to take action. Because you will be serving no purpose, just chit chat if people do not take action as a result of your speech. A structure, a speech should be organized in such a way it has all these ingredients. First, a speech should only have one theme. Right? Okay, no problem. So a speech carries only one basic message. For instance, save the world, save the climate, Chinese education in Singapore, one thing. And a speech should appeal to emotions because people act on emotions. If you cannot evoke that emotion, people do not take action. And a speech should have powerful words because when you use words to create images, then people can understand much better. And finally, a speech should be
powerful words.
Oh,
When you're
well.
asking this as a question.
Oh, I mean, it's a valid question. I will answer that. Don't worry, man. For instance, famous statement by Kennedy, KF Kennedy. Don't ask what your nation can do for you, ask what you can do for your nation.
More GST.
Powerful. Okay, continue. In a speech, it should be made up of these components. First, it's called the introduction. Tell the audience what you want to tell them. And the important thing is in the introduction, as you have seen just now, if you can put in some attention grabber, then that will make them wake up. For instance, the famous speech by Al Gore about the climate, he used a lot of image to attract you, right? So grab the attention of the audience. Body. Now this is where you will produce all the evidence, examples, try to convince them to believe you. So you convince the audience to believe in you through the body of the presentation or the speech. And lastly, the speech should have a conclusion. In other words, you want to wrap up, you want to deliver that strong message, and last but not least, you want to call your audience to act. So in the conclusion, you must have something. Tell them to take action. Good. So now let's do some group discussion. You can use some paper, but I will give you some paper to write on. But the purpose of this paper will be more evidence later on. There are 3 colors. So discuss this. What do you know about an impromptu speaking? What is it? And then why is it important? What is it in it for you to learn how to do that? Good. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to go around, but the color will make sense later. Yeah.
Yellow one.
Yeah. Okay.
And a pink
Chinese New Year, Chinese without flying, without pain.
I read now. Group discussion.
Okay.
What is impromptu speaking? When you pick on your feet. Articulate an idea.
Speaking for me is like something that you're not ready. You just have to speak.
All right, so somebody actually seems to have done that already. So can somebody tell me what is impromptu speaking?
Without
You're not ready.
Speaking without planning, that's a very good answer. Anything to add?
They should have the knowledge and experience to.
Oh yeah, Chris, you know, it takes knowledge and experience to speak that. Now, why is it important? What is in it? If you can do that very well, so what?
You can articulate an idea concisely and effectively.
Okay,
Press somebody.
to impress somebody. For what
Influence.
ends? Influence. Good. Okay, so I'll give you some answers from the experts. Impromptu speaking, like Jeff said, very short preparation time. You actually have to think on your feet. An example of that is called elevator speech or elevator pitch. Imagine you are in the elevator and you know the CEO of the company is just next to you and he might smile at you and ask you, how is your department doing? Now, from the bottom to where the office is, the lift is going to probably travel for about 2 minutes or even less. Now in that 2 minutes, if you can speak intelligently, convincingly, imagine what can happen.
You might become department head.
Exactly. All right.
Or the elevator manager.
That is called an elevator pitch. Well, others, you know, insurance agent, you know, 2 minutes might get you a customer. Right? So the ability to think on the feet is very important, and a 2-minute speech can possibly change your life. So what about giving feedback? Giving feedback is also impromptu speaking. Because you never know how you might in a situation having to give somebody some feedback. And feedback can also change your life if you say the right thing. So feedback on an evaluation, as an evaluation on a speech is also something that you would like to master. And the ability to listen very actively is the key to feedback. If you don't listen, there's nothing to feedback on, right? So let's share some techniques of how to make impromptu speaking. The technique is called PREP. Start with raising a point as an opening, then give the reason why you say that as a body, give examples in the body, and finally repeat that point in the conclusion. So I have got examples, but the examples is also in your handout. So I'm going to read it, and you can read it as we go into the exercise phase of today's lesson. Now, how do you do evaluation? Again, there's a technique, and the technique is called PASS. P for praise. You have to praise the speaker, so make him at least receptive to your feedback, and then you give him some advice, and you give him some suggestions how he can improve, and finally, sayang sayang, make him feel good, sweeten it up. So with love and kisses as encouragement. Again, the example is in your handout. I would urge you to read it before we go into the exercise phase. Now, let's start doing speaking. So each group, I would like you to arrow one speaker,
Our
arrow one evaluator, and the remaining 2 or 1 will become an observer. Okay. Now, let me explain. The speaker would make a speech for 2 minutes, and the topic is also in your handout. There are 48 topics that you can freely choose from. Okay? And the evaluator, after hearing that speech, is going to give a 2-minute feedback to the person. And the observer observe for what? For whether they follow the PREP and the PASS.
Yes.
All right. So when we are ready, let's go. All right.
So we are both on the so you'll be the
Do not take too long, otherwise we will be running out of time. I think we got another 10 minutes. So do this. No, you see 2 minutes. Okay, let me further explain it. There is a person to time the speakers. And now the reason why you are giving 3 colors is becoming evident. When the speaker completed 1 minute of speaking, show the green color. Alright, or with the hair with 1 finger. Now that means you already qualified. That means you can stop if you want to stop. At the 1.5 minutes, you show the amber. That means you can continue.
Amber is there, no?
Amber is there.
I also have like this.
At exactly 2 minutes, you will show the pink color card, or you show like that. Then the speaker must stop. All right. Even if you are not finished, stop. All right.
Amber, pink, and green.
Okay.
If you don't feel very comfortable, speaking standing up, for now you are excused. You can make your speech sitting down because we have got a lot more to learn.
Our time.
Good.
One, I will tap you
Okay,
one.
see this one.
Okay?
Okay.
1.5, this 1.5, okay, and 2 minutes.
You do lah. Then
Who is the speaker?
Smile. Beautiful.
Okay, please.
Smile.
1 minute is enough.
1 minute enough.
Yeah, that's why I said we have to.
Confused. 1 minute.
hey, you must do this no. Very important.
Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, say something. 1 minute, go fast.
Start, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Actually, it starts easy to make me smile. No, I don't smile.
And they don't
But
like.
when can you make some?
Get going. Don't speak. Yeah.
I still need to speak. Suddenly they don't speak. But when I see something funny, maybe not see, I cannot see. Yeah? There's a light. When I hear something funny,
He knows what.
I will smile. You know, example, when I went to China,
Sorry. I was no, because I think animals
I
was
asked the person to look for my luggage, the helper, and the ground crew. So they came to me again, the air crew came to me and she asked me what color is your luggage. I told her I cannot see. She said, never mind, just tell me what color. She said she knew I cannot see, but she asked me the color. So I was so frustrated, I said, well, since you want the color so much, my color is green. The luggage is green. So she went, she came back, she asked me to feel the luggage, I feel right. I can recognize the padlock. And she told me, this is your luggage.
No, you just do it. I want to see.
No, but you mean everyone?
Everyone will do individually.
Then
Yeah.
I can't see, I don't know the color.
So-
but this is green, you say green. I said, okay, I'm sorry. I remember now it's green.
Almost 5.
She knows. She
I will give you another 1 minute and then.
holding my white key.
I like animals. I like animals.
And then actually I got 2 luggage. So I told her, one more luggage. You guess what? And I can guess what color is it. Beijing. You know when you call for the you will send the flight, someone around the country.
The evaluation? Use the PASS.
Thank you very much for telling us about how you can just
1 minute over.
You will stop. 1 minute is enough. If you have nothing more to say. How I
For
agree.
me personally, I feel that human beings should have no more solution for you to continue.
Okay.
Yeah, in the question that and show our love, care, and concern to them. And because the animal abuse, any human beings the ultimate level of cruelty.
Afterwards, then she came back.
Okay, so shall we, in the interest of time, invite those who are playing the role of evaluator to say something about what you observed? I mean, did they follow the technique? So who is the evaluator? Listen. Okay. Please.
Nati talked about
Remember our pledge. Okay. Right.
Nati talked about her love for pets. Actually, she did make a point about why and what's the need in it for us to get a point positioning. She gave reasons, PR. Then, of course, she gave examples that, cat as an example.
And then what about the evaluation? I mean, do you follow? You see them following exactly the technique of PREP?
Yeah, that's exactly
good.
PREP, yes.
Yeah, over
I
here.
was explaining each one.
Adi is our speaker. He followed the PREP to the T.
Thank you. And what about the evaluator?
Oh, yes.
You are the evaluator. So you are sure you follow the PA?
Yes.
Okay, over here.
Oh yeah, good.
Follow the
Yeah,
the
the
point, the reason,
point.
the example, and then eventually point in it.
The evaluator.
Stop here.
Yeah.
Now, I assure you this is not easy. This is only the beginning. We said we're going to be doing this for days. So everybody is going to have a chance to practice the technique, give a speech. But since we are going to have a coffee break soon, so let me just wrap up what we have done this half an hour. First, let me ask the question. What are the 3 parts of the speech? Anybody can answer that?
Intro, body,
Thank you. Then what is the acronym for this technique for impromptu speaking?
Prep.
Thank you. What is the acronym for giving feedback?
Pass.
Thank you. And why is oral communication important?
Impress upon.
Yeah, it can change your life. Good. So we have covered some knowledge. You learn the purpose, structure, and the components. We have covered some skills. You learn how to make a pitch. You learned how to make feedback, press, and pass. And finally, you now can enjoy making speeches. And will you be using what you have learned just now in your work?
Yes.
At home?
Yes.
Social circles?
Yes.
Anywhere else?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.